Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love. This is season. What we on? I'm gonna look. Season 6, episode 3. I am somewhat indoors, but somewhat outdoors. I don't know if y'all can still hear the wind. And here comes somebody coming up to me while I'm trying to do this video. I might have to pause for a second, but hopefully they don't come over here. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on the show. So Nephew Tyler Perry comes over and lets them know that there is going to be a challenge and there is also going to be some blind dates. So Dakia and Clifton are selected to go on the blind dates. I love the blind date concept. It continues to introduce us to somebody new, but it also continues to bring more people into the competition. So y'all not slick, Will Packard, if that's the name. Y'all ain't slick. Y'all still got the same amount of people, but I do kind of like the way that they are doing it. I'm also enjoying this cast so far. So Dakia goes out with Eric. Eric is a chef. He says that it's hard to settle down and have a relationship because he's always on the road. So even though his job is exciting and he gets to deal with a lot of celebrities and have a good time and do what he loves, it is hard to schedule a date and just kind of sit down somewhere. So Dakia, okay, so they both have, I'm enjoying learning everybody's background. It seems that most people on this show have been married before, and they are now divorced. So they do have some marriage experience under their belt for the most part. But with Eric, he says that he got married in Germany at the age of 18. So very young. I don't know if this was military related. I don't know if he was in it or if he was like a child, probably a child of somebody in the military, I believe. Got married very young. He has a 21 and a 23-year-old. So he got some grown women under his belt. He does not look old enough to have a 21 and a 23-year-old. Dakia is open to having children. She is 39. However, Dakia also had a struggle with cervical cancer at the age of 30. If she has children, she'll be elated. If she doesn't, she's made peace with that as well. They seem to really like each other. I was a little bit annoyed with Dakia. I couldn't figure out if she was trying to relate or if she was just trying to be like, well, shoot, I do that too. Well, I got that too. When he was like, I'm an engineer. Well, I'm an engineer. I'm a systems engineer. I'm a systems engineer. I work for NASA. My uncle, I came down from Harlem because my uncle had cancer. Well, I had cancer. I was like, Dakia. Let this man speak about himself and then you return and speak about yourself. But I don't know. I don't know if she was just trying to relate or what she was doing. But it's a big deal to survive cervical cancer. I've lost some people from cervical cancer that has spread, some classmates. I'm going to tell you guys, I know some people are very leery about vaccines, especially in young people. If you have daughters, I can't remember if boys can get it too. I believe they can. Yes, they need to get that HPV vaccine. Trust me when I tell you guys this. I was in school when that vaccine was coming out. I was in college. They were doing clinical research trials on it at the university that I went to. You were allowed to sign up for the study if you wanted to be involved because they did need to look at younger women's gynecology results and kind of look and see what they had going on so that they could see what they needed in regards to creating this vaccine. So, I kind of helped bring that vaccine along a little bit because, baby, I just wanted free pap smears. I ain't gonna hold you guys. I was too young to be signing that paperwork. I should have been talking to my mama. I just went ahead and was like, free, you say? And I signed on the dotted line. This is how people get caught up, right? But I do remember that my school was involved in that research, and I believe that it has saved a lot of young ladies coming up today. So I actually was not able to get that vaccine, but I do get screened every year. But I think now if you're over a certain age, you can get it. But at the time when I asked for it, they told me that they weren't giving it to anybody over the age of 23, I think it was, once it finally came out. But yes, just a side note, it is a good idea to get. I would recommend it. It's brought the ovarian and cervical cancer rates down significantly. So moving on. Glad she survived it. Glad she caught it early. Guys, make sure you are getting your HPV screening. It is not included in your regular PAP. You need to ask for it. At least I did anyway. So moving forward. It was a long PSA. They seem to vibe. They seem to have a really good connection. Eric said he about one and done, child. Eric was just like, I like this. I like you. I'm ready for us to go out again. I said, Eric, slow your roll now. But I'm not mad. Shoot, you like what you like. You see what you see. You want what you want. But yeah, she wants to go out with him again as well. As far as the children, I have a feeling that Dakia has more than made peace with not having children, probably more so. And child, if she don't want Eric, I'll take him, because I'm looking to be a smooth auntie or a stepmama to somebody who don't want no more. But yeah, they're going to go out again. So that was our first blind date. Okay, so the next blind date was between Clifton and AP. AP also has 2 children. I think she said they were 9. That preteen age. I can't remember the age of the other one. Clifton got 2 children, and his are 9 and 3. I said, now Clifton. Clifton got a toddler. She's a vegan. She's into fitness and health, and she teaches Zumba. So, she probably know how to throw that thing. Y'all know they be throwing it in Zumba. I don't even go to Zumba because I get extremely distracted with all of that's going on. But she tells Clifton he could come through to a dance class. I said, well, can you imagine Clifton juicy self in there doing some Zumba? She also says she does the fitness classes and that Clifton can get in there and do some burpees. I can't imagine him doing that either. He said he hates burpees. She's a vegan, and he says that he's a vegan as well, on top of some turkey. I think he's so funny. Even though their date was cool, you can tell the connection isn't going anywhere. Clifton sees her more as a friend, and she sees him as a brother because he actually looks like her brother, and she brings it up during the date. So that's probably not going to go anywhere because she says she can't get her brother out of her head. We also find out that she is a widow, which was sad. That made me very, very sad because she is young to be a widow, but it made me sad for her. But she says she's kind of gotten herself together. She's done the work, and she is indeed ready to love. Clifton's been married twice. This last time, it took him a year to get himself together. But Clifton is indeed ready to love as well. So that was that with the 2 of them. I don't think there'll be another date. All right. So then they have the paint and sip date where you get up and move, and you paint a little bit and you get up and move. Y'all, I would have been mad at this date because the date was freehand painting. See, I need a stencil or something that's already drawn out because y'all, I cannot draw. I am not artistic, not even a little bit. I would have been mad that I had to draw something. I can remember my teacher, Miss Hawkins, God bless her, in elementary school, used to always tell me, if you just try your best and you work really hard, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be good. And I ain't going to say she was lying, but it just wasn't true. All right. I tried my best. I worked hard. Soon as I came into art class, baby, from start to finish, I was on my grind, and it would still look a mess. And that's when I learned at a very young age that some of us have it and some of us don't. Even if you do work hard, if you don't got it, you don't got it, at least when it comes to art. So that was my least favorite class. Art class was my least favorite. Music was my favorite elective day. But moving on, y'all, I would have been mad that I had to draw something freehand. I probably would have just drew. Y'all remember the Walmart smiley face back in the day? I probably would have just drew that. But Cornelius is drawing his cat. His cat has passed. The cat's name was Pimp. He was 14 years old. Big old cat, too. He don't understand why people don't have respect for cats. The Egyptians used to worship cats, and we need to have respect. Look, I got respect for cats. I don't want one in my home, but y'all know I don't want anything furry in my home. If you can't take a bath every day, you can't live with me. And that includes children. Everybody got to wash every day. All right? I don't care. I don't care. But if I had to pick a furry animal, I would pick the cat just because it could eat some of these, gargantuous water bugs they got running around here. But, yeah, he is a cat guy. He misses his cat. Everybody knew Pimp. And Joy is just kind of looking at him like, okay, she can't really take him seriously, but she's listening to his cat named Pimp story. Eric comes in guns blazing, y'all. Eric is ready to mingle. So he's drawing, he's talking to Ace, and then he say he gotta get over there to Joy because it's just something about her. I said, what is it, Eric? What is it about Joy? But he goes over there and they exchange Instagrams and good conversation. I have a feeling the two of them will end up going out on a date, more than likely. Dakia pulls Cornelius to the side because she wants to have a conversation with him. That Dakia, she keep a mimosa, don't she? And this scene let me know that Dakia has indeed made peace about the children situation. I don't think she wants them. I don't think she has a desire to have them. I think she had it before, probably when she was engaged. But like a lot of women, you start getting older and you have to start making decisions. Like, am I going to just do this alone if there's nobody around because I'm getting up there? Or am I just going to say, you know what, I would rather not do it at all if I'm not going to have the partner? And it sounds like Dakia has made the decision to not do it at all. And it seems to come from a healthy place. She doesn't seem down about it or irritated like some women. If you've ever talked to women who still are holding out hope for having children, you can tell if they've made peace with it or if they haven't. It's kind of like a tone and just in some of the things that they say. And I feel like Dakia has made peace with it. It's something that I've seen women go through. Me, myself, I've talked to you guys before. It's hard for me to talk and have conversations with women who I know are still wanting children and are still wanting that partner. It's hard. It's really hard to listen to because I knew at 15 that it wasn't for me. It was not for me. And people would tell me I was going to grow out of it and change my mind. And here we are, and my mind has not changed. May have wavered a few times, but it has not changed. So I think she's made peace with her decision. Cornelius has never been married either. He does want children, but Cornelius can tell that Dakia is wanting more of the commitment before children versus him, who doesn't really... He's never really been sold on the idea of the institution of marriage. Now, there are a lot of people like this. I know that there are men like this. I understand that a lot of men do not see the benefits to marriage. Personally, and this is going to sound weird, you guys, it's going to get a little... I hope it doesn't get dark. The way that some men feel about marriage is how I feel about having children. Like, that's a big risk for me. That's a big undertaking for me. If you decide to go, everybody's going to be looking at me. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you, but they're going to be looking at me to do what I have to do. And let's say this child doesn't turn out, what if they have special needs? This is going to fall a lot on my shoulders. And this is going to do things to my body that are irreversible, and sometimes even your mental capacity if the hormones get completely out of whack. So I kind of see the holdouts that they have on marriages, the holdouts that I actually have, and I'm surprised more women don't have, about giving birth to children, especially with, you guys know, my line sister died shortly after giving birth to her baby. Another one had a stroke, and they were not old, and they were not not old. Y'all know what I mean. And they were not past the age, and they were not overweight. So those things are very, those are things that I think about. And I'm just like, y'all protect yourself with the prenuptials, and I will protect myself with the baby nuptial if I got to write it up myself, because you ain't finna leave me high and dry. Baby, I ain't got time for that. I take parenting very seriously. Now, speaking of that, what do you guys think? I've had conversations with people. You guys know marriage is a hot button topic in the community right now. I've had people say that if you're not going to get married, then you just don't need to have children. I've had those conversations with people. I've had the co-parenting conversation with people. I understand that relationships do not always stay together long term. This is why I'm a big proponent of two people coming together to form a family. Don't just get married to the person. You have to understand that your commitment is to the person and to the children. Okay? Don't just look at it as like, okay, well, if I'm not with this person, then F the kids too. No. These are, I personally believe they're two separate commitments. And if I ever had children, not only would I want to be married, but I would want to be with somebody who actually wanted to be a parent, didn't just want somebody to carry their last name, but they desired to be a father. And I would encourage men to be with someone who desires to be a mother. They're not just doing it because you want one, because the participation is going to be different. But yeah, I just wonder, what do you guys think about that? What is your take? What about some of the women who may not get that partner? Should they go at it alone? I think that's it's a hard decision to make. There's definitely always adoption. I've thought about that before in my future. I don't know. You guys just let me know what your thoughts are about Cornelius and his statement, and how you felt about it. But anyway, you guys, those two probably aren't going to do anything further, because Cornelius can sense that she's wanting more of a bigger commitment. Cornelius, bro, I think everybody probably going to have the same reaction to whatever it is you're talking about. You might have to get a surrogate. All right, so now I'm outside, y'all. Not outside, inside. I am completely outside, so y'all already know what it means. You're going to hear the wind. All right, so the people go on a bowling date. The bowling date was cute. Demetrius was there. I think his name is Tori was there. Paul was there, and Big Vern was there. So Joy and AP are the ladies that are at the date. So the men are outnumbering the women for this date. Demetrius goes to get AP's shoe, and AP was just like, "It's that big boy 11. Yes, it is." And hey, we ain't all got the cute little dainty feet. I like how she said it with pride. I got a cousin like that. She got a big old foot, but guess what? They ain't stopped nobody from marrying her. She is very much married. She knows somebody that like it. So he goes off to get the shoe. They're bowling, they're having a good time. I don't really see a lot of connections happening during this bowling date, but now, y'all, why Vern always wants somebody to touch his booty? Now, he get out there with Joy, and he trying to get Joy to grab up on his... The wind blowing. Let me try to face this way. He trying to get Joy to grab up on his butt, and Joy is just like, "No, I'm gonna grab you around your waist. I'm not gonna grab that booty." I said, "Vern, you always got them cheeks clapping. Why? Why do you want somebody to touch? I mean, don't get me wrong. I be wanting somebody to rub up on my booty too, but I don't just be handing it around to any old body like, yeah, can you touch my butt, please? Go on to squeeze it." We gonna keep an eye on that, Big Vern. So then, not really much else happening on this bowling day. Paul is trying to teach everybody how to do it the right way, not the slight way, doing it how his mama taught him. You bowl where the arrow is. I was waiting on him to say, "Now you bend down and just do it between your legs with both hands." Y'all know how y'all used to do when y'all was little. I'm gonna tell you, I did not learn a whole lot of bowling techniques, but I will get out there and get several strikes in a row, all from just following the arrow. Just aim it. I don't even look at the pins. I just literally look at the arrow. And it usually works out for me quite well. But I did spend a lot of time in bowling alleys as a child. But yeah, y'all, I mean, it was just all right. The highlight of the date was Vern's booty. So then we move on to Sabrina and Paul. They go on a date. There's no chemistry there. Sabrina is talking to him about his life, his childhood, things that he has done. Paul is a high achiever. He has an entrepreneurial spirit, has had one since he was under the age of 10, and he was doing odd jobs in his neighborhood and getting paid for it. Sabrina's concern is, does he know how to slow down, or does he know how to sit down, or something along those lines? And he was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And she explains that she's looking for something with somebody who can enjoy life, not just on the go, because she's already kind of like that. So she's looking for somebody that's going to be the opposite of her. She kind of says that Paul might be a little bit too ambitious for her, which I don't really know. I mean, women, let me not speak for all women, but a lot of us like a man who is ambitious. If you've ever been with a man who lacks ambition, then you would prefer somebody with ambition. Trust me, it is very hard trying to push and pull somebody to do something. That is not my lane. I will leave. But but Sabrina says he might be a little bit too ambitious for her. Maybe she just means a little too busy, but overall, I don't think she's feeling Paul in that way. And I was glad that she finally just got around to saying, "I don't really see you in that light. I kind of see you as a brother figure or a mentor." I'm sure that was crushing for Paul to hear. He even says it kind of was like hard for him to hear. However, they are there for love. And Sabrina, you could have just cut it off right there. She just kept going. And I'm sure that you're going to find what you're looking for, because there's a lot of ladies here. We're all looking for love. I was like, Sabrina, enough. We got it. You're not feeling them like that. And it's okay. Everybody is not going to be a match on the show. So there'll be no Sabrina and Paul. So the monument date was just, it was just kind of weird to me. I don't understand why the ladies just didn't go and talk to the person that they were interested in, which seemed to be Demetrius for both of them, I'm guessing. But Sabrina and AP were there, Demetrius, Tori, and Wiley. I have seen a lot of comments going around that Wiley is too young to be on the show and that these ladies are too old for him. I do agree with that. But my thing about Wiley is that Wiley stated on the very first episode that he liked older women and he preferred older women. So I don't think they would have put him on here just to set him up with women that were too old for him. He obviously maybe mentioned that somewhere in the cast. Well, they might have set him up, child. You never know with Ready to Love. But I think they're going to have some younger women on here, like for the next blind date. So maybe he can link up with her. But if he's wanting 2 children, then yeah, that is something that he's going to have to think about. And it's not that these women can't, but it is different the older you get. And some of them already have 1 and 2 children and aren't looking to have 2 more. So yeah, Wiley. And AP said that Wiley reminded her of one of her students. So even though he was a kind guy, it was just a no for her. And Demetrius was just sitting in the back like, ain't nobody talking to me and I ain't talking to nobody. He looked like he was genuinely there for the tour. So yeah, that was weird. Now the next date was one we've been waiting on, Clifton and Joy. A lot of sparks between them. They share a very touching moment talking about their fathers. Joy was actually raised by her father. Her mother was Trinidadian. She didn't explicitly say. I don't know if her mom lived over in Trinidad and maybe her dad was here in the U.S. and got custody of her, which was a better place for her to be with him. Wasn't necessarily a nurturer, but she knew that she was loved. She knew that she was cared for. Clifton said that same with his dad, lost his dad at 23. She lost her dad. I don't remember if she said the age, but it seems like it wasn't too long ago. But whenever he passed, it was a hard moment for her because that was her guy. That was all she had. That was her friend. That was her support system. And for Clifton, that was the nucleus of his family. And so he felt like things started to fall apart when his dad died and he needed to be strong. So he internalized a lot of his pain. She did as well, so that they could put on a strong front for the remaining family. And they share a moment about that. Joy says that she was drawn to Clifton because she saw so many traits of him in her. And he says that he sees her, or he sees him in her, or her, something like that, Charlie. It almost sounded sexual. But they want to go out on a date again. They seem to really like each other. The only mishap of the date was the coconut, where he started to have an allergic reaction to whatever it was, whatever coconut was on the fish. And he begins to sweat profusely. So even in the midst of an allergic reaction, he still kept the date going. And we will see what the future holds for the 2 of them. All right. So the ladies need to deliberate and decide who is going to be getting the boot. And when they deliberate, in the top we have Clifton. Joy looked a little bothered by that. We also had, I think Laverne was in Ace's top, and then Demetrius must be in the top off looks alone. I can't really. Oh, actually, Sabrina said they do have good conversation. The rest of it, I think, is looks. And Paul is actually in Precious's top. Now, getting to Paul. Once we get over to the other side, Cornelius and Paul are in a lot of people's bottoms, at least 3 or 4 of the ladies. Precious is offended by that because she feels like the things that they're saying about Paul are true, but it's all in how you take it. Opposites attract, and that is something that she actually needs. She needs somebody that might be a little bit more rigid, a little more business oriented, a little bit more goal minded, because she can be flighty. So she is kind of defending Paul in that way to some of the other ladies. Cornelius, they just don't feel any romantic connection with at all. And Some people even said that Laverne may come off as negative. I'm just concerned about him and the booty cheeks. But then they go and they have to tell each of the gentlemen. Cornelius didn't, I don't know. He says that I just hate that they don't see it right away that they might be getting eliminated. It's always so sad. And then Paul goes out with Precious, and Precious lays it on him about how some of the ladies feel. Paul said that's not really his problem. Like, maybe they need to look inward, because Paul gives it to you real. He gives it to you raw. He's going to say what he needs to say. And if that's something that you don't want, if you don't want a man coming to you with the real, then that's something that you need to look at in yourself, because you should appreciate that. And I got what Paul was saying. I don't know. I just think it's really a personality thing. Some people like it that way and some people don't. Some people are a little bit more, woo, 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 she, flu, 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 while inserting some of the real in there. Paul ends up getting to stay. He's going to get the opportunity to stay. And Cornelius, I was about to say Cornelius actually ends up being the one that has to go home. He was cool with it. He didn't overreact. He didn't have any dramatics with it. He just is trying to figure out how he got friend zoned by 6 different women at one time. But he understands, and he's going to move on gracefully. So, sorry, y'all. Somebody was coming by. So, yeah, that was pretty much it as far as the elimination process. What do you guys think? There's going to be another curveball next week. They're going to continue that. What did you guys think about the process? Do you think they sent the right person home? I think that whole non-marriage thing was what really got Cornelius sent home. But you guys can let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you for the next one. Bye.